TruVue Podcast.
A bunch of different views.
The boys keep it real, man. I really like listening to them, man. They funny. Yeah. Son. You know what I'm saying? They really speak their truth. The hell was that? You're. What it do? What the business is? What is good? It's your boy Mel, and we are back in the building again, bringing that barbershop to the box office, baby. TruVue Podcast. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yo, I am hyphen next man. Thank y'all for tuning in with us, TruVue Podcast. I'll leave up to my guy.
Here, I'm Jay. Let's get it popping.
Indeed, once again, thanks again for tuning in. It's Grown Man MJ in the place to be. Subscribe and join the tribe. Let's get it, fellas.
Before we get started into this deep conversation about the NBA and they racist fuck shit, cheers.
I don't have anything, but so
we got you. It's all good. What are we getting into today? Well, Showtime Stand. What is Stand, you might ask? Well, raw and unflinching examination of the courageous life of basketball star and social justice activist Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Born.
No.
What?
It's not Muhammad.
Oh, Mahmoud. I'm sorry.
Mahmoud
Abdul-Rauf. No disrespect. Born Chris Jackson, he overcame tremendous adversity to reach the NBA and found his true calling when he converted to Islam. God damn. His decision not to stand for the national anthem, however, turned him from prodigy to pariah. Told candidly by Abdul-Rauf himself more than 20 years later, it's the remarkable story of one man who kept the faith and paved the way for a social justice movement. Stand.
gotcha.
All right, cool.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow, that was a great description.
I do.
And almost that description was so good it makes me want to change my score.
I honestly think that this is the first Showtime thing we've done. I want to say.
Documentary, maybe. I thought we did Your Honor at one point.
Who?
Your Honor.
Oh yes,
TV series. I thought we did that early on the first season.
All right, so this is second show.
Yeah. First documentary though.
Well, let's dive into it, man. Let's dissect this. Where do we want to start? I mean, if you're watching this, I'm just gonna say watch the documentary first, so then it'll make it a little easier for us to dive into the conversation, break it down. So if you haven't, pause it right now, go ahead and watch the documentary, then come back for the combo.
So I'll just say this, right?
Go ahead.
For me, the first thing I immediately took away from it was, was it Chris Jackson? It was his original name, Christopher Jackson. So when he was Christopher Jackson and growing up in Mississippi, like I remember when I first moved here, or not when I first moved here, but my mom's ex-husband, he was like, I want you to see something. And he brought home Mississippi Burning and made me watch it, right? And it was back during a time where my mom would do live-in jobs. A live-in job is where you're like you're staying,
Like a nanny or some sort.
yeah, but like she's in Jersey. Now, all I knew about Jersey was like it was white people, right? So I'm seeing Mississippi Burning, and then my mother's going out to Jersey. I'm bugged out.
Right.
I'm 12 years old.
Right.
like in the thing, imagining the fucking worst. So to come from that, and then it's like the way he was able to take his ailment and use it to his advantage, I thought was masterful. And it's just a testament to just like perseverance.
I'm glad you started there, Jay. That was a good point to start because the early part of the documentary keyed in a lot on his earlier life and
Yeah.
him honing his skills to become the talent that he was or is, because he's still hooping in the big three, I think.
Mhm.
But the way they formed his Tourette's with the OCD type complex that he had with it, and the way he say he would have to have a
Drill the shots and
certain feeling to the shot and how he went through the drill, and if not, he got to do a complete 10 again. Like,
Yep.
I thought that right there was really key and eye-opening to how, you know, some forms of like autism here are you can see some brilliance within it, you know, just based on how the individual has a niche as far as something that he does very well
But
and is
it's low key,
unmatched in as far as his skill. Yeah. What'd you
low
say?
key a superpower.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
yeah.
it was
yeah,
like a
your
superpower for him. That
discipline,
shit was crazy.
your
Go ahead.
your discipline will show you your disability. You know what I'm saying? And
Ooh, I
that's
like
what
that.
really like what really shine through all this, all the adversity he had to go through. You know what I'm saying? And being disabled and having to stand on your own and be confident in that is something within itself. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
completely.
And
Hell yeah.
like I salute. I
Yeah.
salute because it was not cool
This
for
is
him at that time to be pro-black.
Hmm.
I think if he would have been heralded as a NBA legend or something like that, you know, something like Mamba mentality would have been bestowed upon him long ago. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, I can see that.
the way you just put it to me, hyphen, that is a hell of a. You have to have some kind of inner peace to go through all of that. Know the world is looking at you as different or odd. Uh, Not have the actual verbiage to describe what's going on with you for so long, and to just overcome through just having the ability and talent of something that you found peace in. All of that shit is crazy.
Yeah,
Just a general hood niggas dream to like want to buy their mama a house. When he bought his mom that house and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I was watching his face. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really genuine, and he wanted to show her all the rooms in the house. And I felt like he wanted to show her the bathroom because in the bathroom is where he leaned against the sink and it broke. And he was just like, fuck it, I'm going to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta go get this bread so that my mom, who won't tell me, who knows who my dad is, but won't tell me, I still want her and my little brother to live good. Like it's so many layers to this individual. You know what I'm saying? It's so. Go ahead.
No, I was just, I mean, going back to like the fact that he wasn't diagnosed until he was like what a freshman in high school or a sophomore in high school, right? Like he had to use basket, like, and then to the extent that like not only was he not diagnosed, they were like, oh, you just have habits, right? And it's just you'll grow out of it.
I was
To
saying, I
to,
don't think
to
he was
be
diagnosed till college. I was gonna say like,
no, it was his high school's
yeah, it
coach
was high
wife
school. Yeah.
yeah, but he
his
wasn't
coach.
diagnosed necessarily though. He wasn't given the
Right.
correct
Somebody
diagnosis.
somebody had told him what he may have been. Yeah.
No,
Uh,
it was
no, like
the white guy that came
the
and got him, took him
and
to
took
the
him to
doctor.
the doctor, and they were like,
Right,
"Oh,
right. What
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying,
it's
what
Tourette's."
what I'm talking about with when I thought Jay was talking about was when his high school coach took him to the doctor, and
No,
that doctor couldn't really explain to him what it was.
no,
No, it's I'm talking about
goofy.
like
That was the
th-
goofy that said habits.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, habits.
yeah.
Like, and that was before high school. I thought like that to me had that happened earlier on when he was a kid.
But that
And
was
then
in high
his
school.
okay, and then
That
when
was
the
in high
coach
school.
came, and then the high school, and then he was
He
like,
didn't
"Yo,
find out he had Tourette's until college, and it was a scout that told him because he said his son had it.
Yeah,
His son had it. All right.
okay," but it was his high school coach and wife that took him though.
I think it was right that drafting year.
I agree to disagree at this
Yeah, I
point.
think it was his
Like
drafting year, so he was in between high school and college.
in any event, he grew up like the majority of his life misdiagnosed, right?
Not
And
diagnosed.
or not
Undiagnosed.
Yeah.
undiagnosed, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
for that, like then in order to cope with the tick, he uses basketball. His father is unknown in his life. He doesn't know who it is, and that is a void that's within him. And in order to like survive that, he used basketball. And then
Yeah,
when
he
he's
said that.
finally when he's finally like and mind you, he's been living with this crippling fear of like the other shoe dropping and like and when he finally gets comfortable and breathe, you guys they take away the one thing that was filling the voids and helping him cope. Like it's like that's literally trying to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the thing that's his survival tool, and you just take it away from him.
Welcome to being black in America.
But
Well,
That's all that is.
but
I
but
guess
I say
I
that
guess a fair question is when you in business, does the bottom line supersede?
Mm.
I guess personal beliefs or expressions or
Yes.
freedoms of
Yeah,
expression.
yeah.
It's
that's
business.
not a
It's a
fair question,
capitalistic
Mike.
game.
That's not a fair question because we all make compromises for the moralities that we have to live with. You see what I'm saying? So to ask that question, it's like obviously there's there's a bottom line that needs to be met, and obviously compromises are going to be made in that. But to put that question is to like put yourself as like above reproach, and none of us
No, it's
here
not a
we're
fair. It's not an unfair question, Jay. We just had this compromise in society when we came through the COVID situation, or the Vidi Vidi Vici. Let me say it like that. When
Damn.
everybody was out here with the Vidi Vidi Vici, and we were all dealing with that, people were struggling to
It was
deal with the fact that
murder.
they had to either take a shot or get tested to either come back
right,
to work. All of that
right,
stuff. People compromised. Some people did not.
Take a shot
And
or
it
lose
was
a
simple
shot.
as that. And
right.
it was as simple as that. And that was the line in society. Those who choose to compromise, those
That's
who
different
choose
than
to.
what I thought you were asking. I thought you were saying like if you're a business, are you forced to make morally repugnant decisions for to meet a bottom line? And it's like at the end of the day,
Oh,
that's
a lot of
capitalism. Like that's just
That's
what we
just that's just
yeah,
what I said in that example.
I was gonna say
It's
it's a lot of the
morally
racist.
repugnant to tell somebody to put something in their system to come to work and
Yeah.
type on a computer. That's morally repugnant. It's morally repugnant to tell somebody that you cannot work here because you do not have the views of America. It's just it is what it is.
yeah, fair.
And
Okay,
I
I see
That's
the
my
mean,
point.
view.
the racist owners and everything that we know how they really felt. They bite the bullet, I guess. They hire the black people because they want to win. They want their business to strive, and they want to make the money.
What is it about what is it about the flag, bro? Like explain it to me because like
I
I
cannot.
think,
I don't want
I
to.
don't
I
get
don't
it.
even
Like
go into my issues
now I
yeah.
will say this.
that
I will
I've
say this.
had in real life with the flag.
Well,
Uh,
to me,
I
it's
will
funny.
say
I will say it's
because
funny.
I've had to go through my own stances and everything else. Like I didn't got suspended out of school about that.
Well, we hear and we get those
turn the
sound bites
bass
from
back.
these stupid ass redneck motherfuckers that haven't served, haven't done anything, but sit on their ass and and just judge. But if you actually talk to people of the armed services and stuff, they actually say this is why we went out here and fight. So people would have that freedom to make a
Yeah,
choice.
his own
Yeah.
coach, who was a veteran, said the same thing. Yeah,
Like
it never offended me. Yeah,
it
Like
baffles.
let me just say,
Like
like,
the stupid, lazy motherfuckers are the ones that make the big deal. Like they're the ones sitting on their ass, and the main people that make America a not so great place because
It,
of
it
all.
it's a disconnection. It's a disconnection. Like they don't understand. Okay, so like Black Americans are taught a certain history of the United States
The real
under
history.
this banner. You know what I'm saying? A certain history, and then when you go into knowledge itself, you find out that this history that you were taught is not what actually was. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't what actually was, and it was deemed legal
Damn.
run amok on you. So
Oh,
you feel a little, you know what I'm saying, like it's personal. So to stand or to not to stand or to kneel against the American flag is to take a stance for self. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the disconnect comes in with the different generations. Because like even with the white generation that's coming in and they're like, "You're disrespecting my forefathers and this, that, and the other." Yes, we are disrespecting your forefathers because this is what your forefathers stood for. Your forefathers stood for this ideology. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So yes, it's a disrespect, but the conversation needs to come on why is the disrespect happening and how do we move forward? That's the whole purpose of a protest is to bring attention to the cause so that you can move forward.
But I don't think
And
he was doing
highlight
it
a
in
peaceful.
protest though.
I just want to say it's a peaceful protest too.
But he didn't. He wasn't
Well,
protesting.
I'm just calling it a protest.
so that's why I
Well,
kind of,
his own personal protest. It was his own personal.
Yeah,
But he never considered it a protest. He said it was we only stand and we only rise for Allah and his religion. It was religious purposes.
Right.
I remember being young and asking these questions to my dad, like, why is he not standing? What's the reason for him not
oh, you
standing?
remember this?
Yeah, I was watching basketball during this time. I was into the game
Hmm.
at this time.
Mm.
So I was
really
asking these
big
questions,
Jordan.
and my dad was explaining, you know, what his stance was, why he did not stand, and it was based on his religion. And the media took the spin of making it political and everything else. But he did say what he
Hmm.
said, but I don't never think he had anything towards the government in that way. He just saw the world for what it was. There
Right.
was injustices. I'm not standing for something I don't
Well,
feel is all the
even if
way
I was to
just.
put it in like religious terms, you know what I'm saying? If I was to
Okay.
put it into religious terms, it's him standing against Satan. To stand against Allah, you know what I'm saying, is to stand with Satan. So I'm not stand. I am taking a personal protest to not stand with Satan, so that I stand with Allah.
I
You
hear
know
you.
what I'm saying?
I hear you saying.
In him. So it's a personal protest. You know
I
what
hear
I'm
you
saying?
saying.
And like you said, it got amplified
Mhm.
into a political protest because he said before he even got caught or attention came to it, it was 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, he was chilling.
Yep, and
Yeah.
it took a
A good
person
stretch
who
during the.
served in
He
the
was
armed
getting a good
forces
stretch.
had had a platform. He served in the armed forces. He had a platform, and he felt that it felt personal to him. His racism felt personal.
But what's funny to me is even after with the they met in the middle. So okay, I'll stand and I'll pray. At this point, there's so much hatred being he's doing exactly what the fuck y'all wanted him to do. And
The
he's
agreement.
still mad.
So
Still mad.
that's
Now,
why I kind of
I got
asked.
this question real quick, and Hyphen made the point of like going down the path of like self discovery and
Mhm.
finding out knowledge of self. Uh, to me, similar to going down the path of religion, as Abdul Rauf did. You're gaining a lot of knowledge, and a lot of knowledge is hitting you at once, where it's I guess hardening your shell towards what the norm is, so to
Mm.
speak, and
Yeah.
you don't mind standing in your own. and you start to find more comfortability in standing in your own. But that rush of information sometimes I think is like a system overload, which makes you kind of, explode
Yep.
outside to, to what the fans may see as you being, what you may see as being peaceful, the fans may see as being an explosive,
I think that goes back
outrageous.
to Jay's point. That
Yeah.
goes back to Jay's point when he said, like, is should there be a mentor in place? And to Jay's, and I want to answer that. That I think that mentorship is very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very important. Once a person is starting to come down the path of self knowledge, because your emotions are all over the place. There's anger. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you've been taught has been a lie, or it has been bent
A
some way out
betrayal.
of
Yeah.
yeah, a betrayal or anything. So you're on the defense of it. So I think that a mentor is definitely necessary to help guide you through that. And I love the way that he always mentioned his mentors. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, but he
always
always
mentioned
went to
his
them after shit went left. That's what I was trying to
right,
understand. Like
but
he always
yeah, like
waited, like he always thought that I think in certain cases I would get frustrated watching it because I'm like, bro, it's right now I could like your whole demeanor says it's more important for you to be right or to like stand in what you believe your truth is than to see the bigger picture that you're meant for. Like to lose everything, your wife, your family, your mother, like your wife is begging you, like, please, like, we're not gonna be able to eat after this. Like, they burnt the house down. Why did you have to pick that place? Like, it's known for the shit. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like he
that's
was
the
so.
cost.
But that's my thing. It's like when the whole thing went down with him not standing. He said he goes back to his mentor, and his mentor explains to him that we don't turn our back on the oppressed. We pray for them and the oppressors, right? And that's what led to him praying. And I'm just like, yo, if you had just asked that question, if you had just the same questions you asked the mentor
He didn't know that he
beforehand,
had to ask that question. He had to go through the hardship. You
that's
know what I'm
why
saying?
I'm
Because
saying like
to go-
it could have
to
avoided
stand
it.
to stand on your principles means to stand on it alone, even if no one stands with you. You know what I'm saying? But now he's like, okay, I've stood on my principle, but the hardship, the consequence of this, you know what I'm saying, is becoming too much to bear.
When
Let
it
me go ask a question. You know what I'm saying?
when it comes to religion, when you start that foyer into it and you want to like understand and learn, you're a baby. You're a fucking infant. You're barely a toddler at best.
Agree,
You
agree,
need someone to
agree.
like burp you and wipe your ass all the way through it. So to me, I felt like he
Pause.
thought he could just pause, yeah, whatever. But like I felt like it was just I wish he had taken advantage of those resources early on. Like for example, he fires his manager and puts uh the Muslim
Yeah,
brother in as the
Yeah.
man as his manager, right? That is a
yeah,
noble act.
Sharif.
And when he
Yeah,
explains
yeah.
his reasoning, of fucking course, you're the devil incarnate if you oppose his reasoning for making that move. But there's a way to go about things that shows maturity and doesn't make things seem sporadic. Because I think that's the other thing
You're
too.
looking for maturity at a point where there was no maturity. You know
Because
what I'm
he didn't
saying?
have guidance
And
going through what he was reading. Because even
correct,
homeboy in the blue
correct.
was like, "Yo, he's mixing
But
traditions with principles, and some of those traditions are antiquated in how we
I
cannot
think
be
I
applied in
think
how we
But
there
he,
live today."
but he still had
I think
guidance.
there
He
is
still had
maturity in his
guidance.
decision though. You don't see his
Mhm.
maturity in his decision that he
To,
made though.
the maturity to make a decision.
The
Yeah, to
maturity
make a
lies in the
decision.
conviction.
Yeah.
The maturity to me is in the
Yeah,
conviction
and
to
the
say like,
conviction,
look,
yeah.
he's not because that's the thing. I will give this all the way. Like at no point was he wavering or regretful in what he did. That tells
Correct.
me like it was his
But he
forethought.
could have went
I'm just
about it a
saying
different way.
exactly. And for me, like to watch the
Mhm.
pain and the suffering and the losses that he took as a result of it, because for me, like I I think it's important for people to have a reason to wake up every day. You understand what
But
I'm
then
saying?
Correct.
And I
what
think when you have a void,
Say,
like not knowing
Mel,
your
say that.
father,
Mel finna say something strong.
Bro,
Mel
what?
finna say something strong.
Damn, man, a lot of goddamn pressure.
I know,
Um,
right?
no, I said with us asking all these questions and stuff, it's very easy to ask these questions and point the finger and say, why didn't you do that? Because we're looking at it in retrospect.
In retrospect, yeah.
He's going through this in real time, and all he has is his reaction.
And standing on his principle. Standing on his principle every time.
And my questioning is not is not meant to judgment or to ridicule. It's just to show like, man, I just wish like it's coming from a place of empathy and just like I'm not sorry for him because honestly, like I don't think I know another man to have the will and the strength that he does to survive what he did.
So Muhammad Ali went to jail.
Yeah.
Lost his belt.
But the difference with that is like I'm saying he had an ailment, a mental ailment that he wasn't taking he wasn't a fan of the medication for. And basketball was the thing that helped him balance that, bro. Like,
yo,
it's something
that scene when that doctor
that's called sacrifice.
Medication. I was
that's
like,
called
that
sacrifice.
Doctor looked evil, bro. That doctor looked like he knew he was hitting him with the poison, dog.
Yeah.
But it's like it's something else when
I think that in the fight for Black liberation, I think that's a lot what gets pushed to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice. Kind of what Jay just said. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what he does to deal with his ailment that he's been given in life and to surpass, you know what I'm saying, the general public. But he's willing to give this up to stand on his principles. And you know what I'm saying? To stand on his
not forget,
it's called sacrifice.
This was a trailblazing moment for him. This hasn't happened in the NBA yet.
Correct.
So this
is
That's this is the first Kareem it happened with, but maybe not to this magnitude.
Not
because Kareem was standing still.
Yeah, Kareem was a superstar of his team, which I mean, not saying that
Kareem was a superstar for the league.
For the league, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
he was a superstar on that team. He was a superstar coming out of college. He just never had the national spotlight put on him in the NBA or in college like that.
Yeah, but that's just probably.
I think if he would have played another year with Shaq, they would have definitely saw his greatness. I think that would have really.
Hold on a second.
What's up?
So the whole thing came to light. And
I just want to say, man, Shaq always been a sucker with a dope teammate.
God damn, man.
Wait. Penny, Kobe.
Don't go this route. You see
that? Might be.
You see that dark?
This nigga don't give a
wait.
You see
that dark shit?
No, because when he left Orlando, they never did shit with him, and they still had Penny. And Penny went left. Lakers suffered for 3 years without him. Okay. He went to Miami and in the first year brought him a championship. The Cavs, he was fat. The Cavs, he was just fat.
Mike saying he never give his all.
He never give his all. I'm just saying, like, he delivered everywhere except for the Celtics and the Cavs because
he's not talking about his gameplay.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about being a teammate. How you gonna be a hater? You 7-something foot, the most dominant dude on the court. How you gonna hate on this nigga getting buckets, dog? That shit is ridiculous to me, man.
Oh, you're talking about the LSU shit?
Yeah, he's like we had a little. You had a jealousy. He never said he had a jealousy.
That wasn't about scoring.
Like you was coming to his team.
Yeah,
clearly.
That was just who was the big
already there. You saw him hoop there and wanted to go. And man, he the man. That shit's ridiculous. I'm just saying, Shaq.
That's motivation, man.
Nah, this on your jacket, Shaq. You didn't wear this with Kobe. You didn't wear this with.
That's motivation.
D-Wade.
You went to LeBron team and stunk it up. You played with the Celtics who had KG and all them.
LaMelo, stop it. Stop.
In Cleveland, he was. Cleveland was the decline, bro. Like, I'm surprised he got a check from the Celtics.
Let's not blame that stinking up.
Don't do that. Don't do that. He kind of slowed down the. Like,
it was just the old Shaq, guys. You can admit to that. It's okay.
Leader had
man. You was on Phoenix Suns, mad at Amari getting all that tick. You was mad. That's what
Yeah.
it
Oh, I
was.
forgot about the Suns. The
Yeah, he
Suns
was coming
era.
on. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
That's when
forgot
he was doing
about
them kid
that.
It's
commercials.
gotta
Yeah.
be. It's on your
He had,
jacket, man.
he had a baby toe injury, but yeah, I still say he didn't stink it up in Cleveland. That's just a failure to
Come
finish.
on. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah, I'm
god.
not
This
touching that.
motherfucker here, bro. Just let it go.
But
Just
no,
let it go.
directly, do you think seeing from how Colin Kaepernick got it, the backlash that he got, do you think anybody else that pulls this going forward, do you think it will be just as loud, or do you think the backlash is going to be?
Until we cancel this whack ass cancel culture, I am ashamed to say I think there is just gonna keep on repeating itself. Um, it's just people don't want to listen. People are not really hearing the what's the word that I'm searching for? Like the reasoning. They're not
Yeah.
hearing the
Message,
reasoning. They're
yeah.
just seeing the
Mhm.
action.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're
I think it's what is it? It's intent versus impact, right? Like people are doing things with, the best. They don't intend to be offensive. They
Yes,
intend to
they
be
do.
funny. They don't intend to, hurt your feelings. They just want to be informative. But the impact is what is this new generation of like we're offended and you're
younger
never to
generation.
work
Yeah,
any
and
ever
it's
again.
feelings over
But
facts.
like I
Yeah.
can't help but feel like if
How you say all that, then say how you feel.
I can't help but feel like if like the HBO interview
I
didn't
don't
happen,
believe.
if the HBO interview didn't happen, right? He might have come back after 3 years.
No,
No, he
Like
was out of there. He wasn't coming
he
back. He
probably
was
would have
not
they
coming
he was
he
back.
done, bro.
probably would have come
He
back,
was done.
bro.
He was not. They was
He
not
was
letting
done.
him back in the
Nah,
league.
I think they would have
I
forgotten
was.
about it.
I remember being. I remember
Well, I
being
wasn't
hurt
even
by
there.
the
Yeah.
NBA. I remember being hurt by the NBA when that decision of kind of like ousting him
Seriously?
out. Yeah, I was. Man, I was hurt, bro. I was really hurt, and it was like I felt like Jordan and all them kind of should have, Magic
Yeah.
Johnson's and all. I felt like all of them should have been speaking up for him. I felt like
Hell, I feel
his
like
voice.
So
Yeah,
how
Kareem
he
did you
was the
feel
young
about
Bron,
his
dude in the league.
defectors then? Like Kareem and Elijah, yeah, him.
whoa, Hakeem Olajuwon.
How could
But
yeah, him.
I feel like they should have they should have
How do you
come
feel about
to him
those?
well before all of this shit blew up. But they just sat in the background. They let the fucking fire roar, and then they come out and they're speaking
But
against them.
Yo, no,
I,
fuck
I
that.
didn't.
That's a
I
good
didn't.
ass
You know
point
what?
because you are in the NBA and you're Muslim, like, and you've
Yeah,
been in the NBA before him. You see him trying to fucking learn and find himself, and you see he's choosing your religion. Why not put your arm around him? Like,
I don't know.
why not help him navigate this? Show him how like Islam
Well,
applies
I
here.
get
Like,
all of that, Jay. But
that's
you
a
got to
good fucking
realize,
point,
yeah, you got to realize it's a lot harder to get connected back then too. And
Mike.
that no,
Mike,
I'm being serious.
no.
And then there's like generation gap shit that goes on too, like where age gaps and shit. Where if
That's
I'm
where
older
I
than you and you really a young dude in the league, you really kind of like, come on, man, get out the way. You trying to take my job type shit back
he
then.
wasn't that kind of young player though.
But he wasn't. But I'm just telling you that all of these type of barriers are what keeps that from
Mhm.
happening, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't
But
know,
at a
man.
stat
Like,
like especially with the superstar status of both those guys, they should have at least reached out, made an
No,
attempt.
I feel
absolutely.
you. They
Like
should have reached out.
yeah, and not in the fucking media, not in a press conference condemning him. It didn't occur. Like that should just re-piss me the fuck off now. Like because
But
like if you
like,
have the if you can you don't I don't believe that anybody should condemn if you don't try to help. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm
I
saying?
feel
Like if you
Jabbar
don't,
been speaking out against, young players shit
I'm
for all I can remember.
bro.
Yeah, but speaking out and speaking to is two different things.
Two
Yeah.
And that's
different things.
you should speak to instead of going
That
out of
way
your
you don't have to speak out.
because when
I
you're
hear
speaking out, it
you. I
just
hear
looks
you.
like you're trying to stay relevant.
I hear you.
And you hate like I am real like I don't know why that's irking me more because it's like that man lost so much. so fucking much.
Oh shit!
Nah,
Yeah, I
he
mean, he caught
definitely
the
had the
backlash from his.
ability to go 13 to 17 years
Oh,
in the
easily. I
NBA
mean, shit, he still.
without because he was durable. He wasn't like a player that was like injury prone.
Yeah, his
Uh
body pause
even
wasn't even
yeah,
built like that. His
even though he
body,
had the the jerks and everything like that, it was something he was able to play all the way
Well,
through. I don't remember him having to sit out games and stuff
with
like that.
the that jerking, man, should the NBA consider that cheating? Because that's like he out there using the Tourette's and shit to throw motherfuckers off when he
Well, I mean, if it's a legal NBA move, then it's if it's in the game, it's in
was
the
the
game.
problem.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're
inside
about to have
stuff,
it,
it's
a
in the
it,
game.
double dribble is about to
it's a
be
private club. It's a private club.
double dribble is about to be out of the game because we're about to have the one arm kid playing in the NBA any day now. You watch and see. Some team gonna pick him up.
Are you talking about Hansel?
Yeah,
I was gonna say he cold.
he's nice,
The boy is cold.
but as Lonzo's jumper was slow, so his is gonna. Oof.
Whoa,
Um,
I like what you did there. That was
Damn.
dark, but it was good.
Damn.
Nah, the one thing that keeps me from throwing this shit up into like the 5 rankings is that they really didn't show much of responsibility from the NBA within it.
I
Correct.
And
I
I
get that. I
understand
get
this.
that.
I understand it's a documentary about Abdul-Rauf, but they had his old coaches, things like that. I would have liked to see somebody from the NBA office during that time
Except
period.
ownership.
Yeah, accept ownership for the decisions they were making, and even in the even in the Denver Nuggets ownership,
Organization.
they said. Yeah, they sent Bernie Bickerstaff ass out there to take the heat for the shit. Like, you don't make them decisions. Like, why you have to sit,
Correct.
sit on that?
Where's the
Well, he
general
was the
manager?
general man. He was the general
Yeah.
manager
He
and the head
was. He
coach.
was. You're right.
He
You're
was
right.
the
You're
head
right.
general.
Oh, he
He was.
was. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
he was the
okay.
Yeah,
general
he was the
manager
head
and the
coach
head coach.
and
I
general
So
didn't catch
manager.
that. I
it
didn't
was
catch
his
that. I didn't
decision.
catch
But it's also like a fucked up situation that he had to make that call.
Yeah, his hand
But
like
I
it
don't
wasn't shit he
see.
could do.
I don't
like,
see
like oh shit.
the NBA making any kind of acknowledgement of this
Oh no. No,
because
the NBA
it's
is the type
not.
of people that's gonna throw the
People
stones and
aren't
hide their hand.
exactly. People aren't pissed off enough yet. You see what I'm saying? Like what I'm realizing about corporations in this country, they react at the backlash when it reaches the peak. You know what I'm saying? Like
Correct.
if and unless enough people are like, pissed off, it could be enough to be for them to know people are pissed off, but they're not going to react until it reaches a
If the
point
if the
where
NBA
It could affect. It could
yeah,
negatively affect them.
yeah,
if
Hmm.
the NBA took the WWF's approach or WWE's approach,
WWE. Yep.
at that time they were WWF.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And they
Wow.
were
I'm just trying to help. I'm
they
just trying to help.
Right. Well,
were
that's why I said WWF or WWE slash and created more villains within the game
mm,
that would have been able to sell tickets,
mm-hmm.
TV, and everything else at the same time. And
Hmm.
I don't think somebody should lose their career for something as little as their religion and having the principle that they said clearly was nothing to do with anybody else but them and their religion and how they felt about their faith. And if using the WWE WWF model, creating a
Hmm.
villain and you set games up
God damn.
with the with the Abdul Rauf one night versus a John Stockton,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big night for both small market teams. Now you selling bigger. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
selling smaller markets to to a national
Only
event.
the only thing that I would push back against is the WWF WWE was scripted, and you could
You don't
really,
think the NBA is?
but you can really
Damn. I knew somebody was gonna go there.
I do,
Damn.
definitely do, but you could
I
really
just want to watch the game.
get that man hurt out there because that's a lot of motherfuckers back in that day.
Yeah, I got you.
It
I
ain't
got
no
you.
barriers.
I
God
got you.
damn it. All it takes is for one of them motherfuckers to charge, and then y'all seen Malice at the Palace.
I hear you. I hear you.
Say it's real easy to touch
I
them
hear you.
motherfuckers if we really wanted to.
But I think it does go back to what Jay was saying, like the mob mentality. Like the ticket holders were upset. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The ticket holders,
A lot
that
of power.
generation, that they felt disrespected. You know what I'm saying? The
Well, no,
owners at
we're
that
going to
time felt
continue to see it, though. We're going to continue to see it. If this, I think, like Lamel said earlier on, if this happens again,
it,
it's going to be just as loud. So it's
oh
not a
yeah, but
generation.
it's a private. First of all, I want to say this to black folks. You know what I'm saying? The NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, all these things, all
Well, the
these
MLB don't apply to black
organizations.
folks.
The NHL.
Well, yeah, you know, some black hockey
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
There's
but
two, and they're
if
Canadian.
there's,
There's
but
more
they're
than
black,
two. There's more than two.
but but they're all private leagues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They do have the right to hire and fire whoever they want.
Discretion. Yep.
So when you're in these private arenas, you have to really think about what you want to do publicly,
You have to
because
tap
what you could do
in.
what you do publicly could affect you privately. You know what I'm saying? So I would take that into consideration. But that's what makes sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, like the price of sacrifice so great.
Well, I
You know what I'm
wanted his
saying?
teammates to sacrifice a little more and step up and actually
I
assist,
mean,
man.
okay, all right. Hold on a second. Hold on. Now I'm gonna shoot some bail here, right?
Because I mean,
I'm gonna shoot some bail here, right? Because majority of I don't I'm not even gonna put a number on it, but a lot of players are coming from similar backgrounds that he's coming from as far as
yeah.
fully impoverished. You got mama got a crib,
Mm-hmm.
daddy got a crib, like you're taking care of family, right? You buy your like to give that up, you're fucking a generation of black people over, right? How do you ask somebody to make that
Strength in
stance
numbers.
for something?
It's strength in numbers. If you got one man standing out there by himself versus if you got a whole team standing out there, you're not gonna fire the whole fucking team.
The league will just suspend it and bring in everybody from college,
They
bro.
will
Like
not
there's
fire a
always
whole
be
fucking
some,
team, Jay.
bro. They
You
would
know how much
replace
money
them all.
to
They
make?
would replace them motherfuckers so quick
You really think it's that easy to
because they're
replace
in
the
breach.
superstars?
You
You
right
had
now,
Dikembe
what you
Mutombo,
call
you
it?
had fucking no, they're not gonna. You can't replace the whole fucking team, and if they make that much noise, like it's going to draw attention. So that's why I say
I
if he's
can't say it couldn't happen. I'm just like America hasn't shown me anything that says it's like it could happen.
Nigga, it's called the Civil Rights Bill. Like, what are you talking about? Like, any like disruption has always happened.
Mhm.
Where let me say this.
Not
Let me not say
when
always,
when there are
but
millions of dollars
this
at stake. These people are
millions of dollars.
making
Hold on,
millions of.
correction. Millions of dollars at stake when they boycotted the public transportation system.
Okay,
You know what I'm
so
saying?
people who didn't have million who had to take the bus boycotted it. What I'm saying is these are people you're asking people to give who came from taking the bus to driving in Rolls Royces to say, "Yo, risk all of that and for your whole
Correct.
family, risk
Mhm.
all of that for your whole family." They may never see this kind of wealth. You currently can set up your children's children,
Mhm.
and that is,
It's
I
called
want you to walk away from all of that.
and
But
You know
Jay.
what I'm saying? Like that's a
That's
tough
that's
ask
called
for somebody.
sacrifice.
That's a
Sacrifice
tough.
is not easy.
That's a
That's
tough
well,
very.
ask for
I,
somebody.
and
I think it's a tough ask for anyone
but
because it's sacrifice.
I respect that
It's
stance that you're taking, Jay. But then
Yeah.
don't hop on the fucking camera and say you was behind me. You stood behind me then.
Now that
'Cause
now let's address that shit because now I can't. What I thought was dead funny was they show Shaq in a conference, right? Like back in the day, and he literally said, "Yeah, my I'm
oh,
sorry,
it's
I'm gonna fuck up
good.
his name.
No,
Mahmoud,
that was
Mahmoud. That's Mahmoud. Mahmoud gonna be Mahmoud." That's what he says in the conference. Then fast forward, he's like, he was, I respect him, blah blah blah, and I'm like, that those tunes, sir, like. and it's back to back footage, and I'm like, yo, the editing was crazy on that for me. But I thought that was funny, and I think it was like with Jalen Rose, a lot of performance in him saying like he made it seem like he stood right by him, and in those press conference, like I didn't see him really that much around him throughout it, and I feel like all
Well,
these
I
like
think he
Jalen
kind of
Rose and
alluded to
Shaq
that.
had
I think he said it with him in principle, but he
yeah
didn't stand with him publicly.
he
You know
Mhm.
what
admitted
I'm
yeah
saying? That's
okay
why he said, "And us as the players,"
and
he said,
pointed
"Us
at
as the
himself yeah
players,
yeah
yeah, should have stood with
Shaq
him
ain't really do
because he
that
still
though.
I wouldn't expect Shaq to though. Shaq
Shaq
about
ain't
his
really
money.
do that. Shaq is
Bro,
Shaq,
like
do you
Shaq
think
about
it's do you think it's I guess going back to that earlier question, do you think social media makes this more powerful now?
oh
Like
yeah. Oh
social
yeah.
media helped
correct,
It
Kaepernick
touched
definitely.
touching
He
way
got
more
paid.
people
correct,
He ended up,
a lot
yeah,
faster.
yeah, I mean, because if
correct.
it was something where he said is like when he does this through social media, he can see people who stand with him as almost as fast as
Instantly.
people who stand against him. But
Yeah.
back in the day, he's only seeing what's on the news and what is in those
Correct.
stands. So he's just thinking the fucking world is against him. And then
right.
Correct.
everybody else when they see that, they're gonna revert back because it's like it becomes easy. The more people that's yes, I'm contradicting myself here, but the more people that do stand in a cause, it becomes easier for more people to stand in a cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nigga, that's math.
But but again, the people that are
Hell, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sure,
but the
because
people that are doing that, the people that are galvanizing a movement are people that aren't really they don't have much to lose. I mean, they have more to benefit than especially to lose. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So the people at the bottom of the barrel are the ones like speaking up for the cause because they have
Right,
less to lose and
right.
more to gain. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree
Yeah,
with that.
but in this case, he was not the bottom of the fucking barrel though.
No, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
but what I'm saying is like
But
Kaepernick,
he did it for that though.
he
Yeah.
did it for that, and like Kaepernick was able to extend his career and even like and not go lose to the detriment. Well, not
Oh,
extend his career. I'm sorry. Let me
Oh,
okay.
say
I
that.
don't think Colin Kaepernick benefited anything from this.
No,
Colin Kaepernick didn't benefit anything from this.
I'm just
From
glad
This
what?
he.
just shows you the power of institutions.
Yeah, I'm glad he had his
What
paper straight because he
is
definitely.
Colin Kaepernick employed today?
From
I
no,
think
I'm
he's
saying
retired
no,
in
now.
but he
comparison
got
to
paid what 80 some mil was
yeah,
it?
in
He
comparison to
got
what
paid
this
that
guy went
from the
through,
NFL. He
But
got paid 100 some
I,
mil
I,
from Nike. He
and not
I
got
don't.
not
I,
paid
just
that, so
those
he
are just
got
endorsed. I
paid.
don't think it came from this. I don't think it came from this. You know, shout out to my nigga for making that bread.
okay.
But
Hold
what
on a
I'm
But
saying,
second.
what I'm saying is, he didn't lose in the same sense financially where he
Thank
Financially.
was
you. That's what
oh,
I'm
down
okay,
to
getting at.
okay,
zero.
That's what
in the
I'm
same
getting
Like,
at.
fashion,
Yeah.
in
in
the
the
Yeah,
same
same
like
fashion.
fashion.
He didn't
Okay,
yeah,
have his
and
okay,
all of that was
career.
because
He
of
didn't have his
support he got
career
from
going
people.
forward, but instead of him not even having his career, he also had the opportunity to voice his reason for why he thought he didn't have his career. There was a trial and everything. So I mean,
but do you think
he
that's
had definitely more of
because
a
of
voice.
this?
Yes,
Because of this, when you say what's the this that you're referring to?
This
Because
story,
of
this particular story,
because
this
of
documentary we
Okay.
watched. The
what Mahmoud
do
went
we think
through.
that it's from this?
I
I'm
think
No,
it's
no, no.
asking.
What
because
up?
of
No,
social
no.
media.
What
No,
I was
I think it's because of this happening in sports. I think the progression of time, the evolution of social media,
Mm-hmm.
and because there was a lot of people that stood with him. Like I said, I was a kid and I stood with him, and it's just for the reason that I didn't see him doing nothing wrong,
right.
and
And
it
even
was
as a
what it
child, you saw
was.
that.
I
Shit.
Yeah,
remember
as a child.
playing with this motherfucker on NBA
Shit.
Jam, dog.
No, what I'm saying is like with Kaepernick, he was able to exist because of the support of the people that weren't in the
Correct,
NFL. You see what I'm saying?
The social media.
correct.
Whereas whereas
The social media crowd. Yeah,
Mahmoud, yeah, because of the social media crowd. Mahmoud, it was literally the same exact situation, but Mahmoud didn't have that. So he just had to
Correct.
lose everything.
Hmm.
Kaepernick almost reinvented himself into
Correct.
not,
I,
I don't want to call him a martyr because it makes it seem intentional, but like into a figure that transcended football.
Social justice
It's
warrior.
Like
almost
my
better that
like
he
he
never
was
right. He
fucking
turned
plays again.
into a figure.
like
Into a
his
Into a
circle
yeah.
was
figure.
so
Right.
small just based on who he was and how he moved, and you know how he grew up with his condition of Tourette's.
Yeah.
His circle was so small that he was actually liked by his teammates, but he was never really
Correct.
understood by his teammates either at the
Understood.
same
Right.
time. Yeah, so he was liked, but even though you like me, you don't understand me. It's like you really can't never really have a
And,
genuine connection in that.
and everything y'all saying, I think, can be pointed to social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been, I believe, numbers of African Americans who have taken a stand against social injustice that we have never heard anything about. You know what I'm saying? So when this happened now with Colin, well, in this time period now with Colin Kaepernick, I believe that the NFL, Nike, things to stay relevant, they had to make a move. You know what I'm saying? And in this instance, none of those moves had to be made because that was the temperature, the social temperature of America at that time.
I
Because everyone wasn't able to share their emotions and opinions in such a vast way. Go ahead.
I will say that I think with the Colin Kaepernick ordeal, they did try and move like as they normally did, but
Correct.
realized that they couldn't because of social media and the
Correct.
power of getting the information directly to the people. They didn't, the media didn't have a chance to really twist it and turn it to make him out to be the bad guy like they did Mahmoud with that HBO interview and that whole the 9/11 interview, even further drilling that nail in just to make sure that they killed him, uh, uh,
Completely.
yeah, publicly with the people because it just they wanted to. Don't get me wrong, they definitely wanted to take Kaepernick out, but it's just that luckily in the times that we are in now,
And
social
Yeah.
media
The
saved.
power of
this
social
is an
media. Yeah.
unpopular opinion. This is an unpopular opinion, but the quality of athlete is different. I don't believe, like, I'm not, like, it's not fair
It's
to
not
say,
unpopular to me, Jay.
but
Go
like
ahead.
Kaepernick wasn't the quality of athlete that Mahmoud was at the time that
By no
he
means.
gave up his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Kaepernick maybe
Yeah.
had like 2, 3 years less. This man had 7, if not 8 or 9. Like he was at his best
Fine.
at
Yeah.
at
At
his
his peak,
prime. So it's like I
like
don't even
Muhammad.
want to. I don't. I. It was probably. It's obvious to make the Kaepernick comparison, but like truth be told, bro, like homie lost
It
way more than
Way
in
more.
the
that.
social
Like
aspect. Yeah, in
just
the
fucking,
social aspect.
Yeah.
just
But
like
professional, you're
professionally,
absolutely right.
way
And it
more.
was
Like let's
like
just
what he could have brought to the NBA just as far as
Oh my god.
what his game provided
look at
and
where
and the people that he would have had coming up underneath him as far as watching his game develop through the NBA.
um
It would have been profound for the NBA, I
I can
think.
only imagine how far ahead
He was
Steph
like an Isaiah Thomas to me, like low
like
key.
I'm imagining what Iverson play would have looked like if he was still in the NBA at that time.
should I imagine what Curry would look like now? Because Curry is
Like
the
Curry
That
is
nigga said
is like a
Isaiah
mirror. It's like a
Thomas,
fucking mirror. But
like
it's
a
like
young Isaiah Thomas. I think
would
that's
that
the
have
most
been
accurate
the
way to put it
would
when
the
he was
league
born.
have gone to 3 point and point guards that are scorers sooner than they did? Because I mean, it took a while for the traditional point guard to like go away. It wasn't until like you had forwards like LeBron and Melo that were, I mean, well, really LeBron that could run the forward and the point position. But it's like that
Started with KG.
yeah, I was gonna say
No, I
KG.
thought it
touche
was
touche
Scottie
too.
Pippen.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Pip. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with that. I can agree with
But
that.
like, like, but for what Mahmoud was, I'm wondering where the game would have, how sooner the game would have evolved into this
Right.
three
How
point
his
shootout.
influence would have dictated the game. Yeah.
Yeah, like Dame time would
Like
have started probably in 2005. probably like
Like
not
when
Dame
Mike's
Time, but the version of it.
when MJ said like Isaiah Thomas, I think about like how he was able to either pull up that three or drive it into the paint. You know what I'm saying, and then dish it off. Not to drive into the paint and finish at the basket, but the ability to draw the double team and to like dish it off with that left. You know what I'm saying? Like you absolutely right. Definitely a Isaiah type player. And then he also has some defense. So Mel, you absolutely right. What kind of influence would he have had on the game if I'm not going to say he was allowed to dictate in his practices, but if he was able to dictate in the deal that he struck with the NBA, he
Mhm.
struck a deal with them. He followed. He did his part. You know what I'm saying? And they couldn't take the
They
social
re-
aspect of it, so
Bro,
therefore they got rid of him.
they
when he came back and they said it's a clean slate, if they just let
How?
him continue to no like when he came back after his rookie season, after stinking it up in his rookie
Yeah.
season, right? And he came back and they were like, all right, you're in the shape that we drafted you at, like you're the player that we drafted now. It's a clean slate. Let's start
Hmm.
over. The team is yours. It's yours to lose. How like that Nuggets dynasty looks different to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even someone that like was into basketball at that time. Like I just fucking come here.
They
Like
was
I
definitely
wasn't.
one of my go-to
That's
picks
the
on NBA now.
no,
Like
that's that Nuggets
I mean,
team.
I'm not gonna stunt. I wasn't picking teams
He
at that
left. He
time.
left the Nuggets right before they beat the Supersonics that one year. They
yeah,
was the 8th seed and the 1 seed, something like that. And there was a
This nigga here, boy.
and they had Dikembe on that. I think was it Manu Bol or
Uh,
Dikembe. I think yeah.
Probably, I think
I
McKimbe.
think it was that
it was the
team. I'm not
Kimbe.
certain. I'm not certain. I had to look that up, but he might have been on that team right before they beat that Sonics team.
Ooh, Kemp and Peyton. Whew,
Yeah.
man.
Like I didn't remember him until I saw this documentary. I was like, oh, it started triggering shit to me. Like, oh, I kind of remember this. You know what I'm saying? I
No,
kind of remember I remember my teachers telling me that it was disrespectful for what he was doing and everything because of World War I and World War II.
yeah,
Mm.
I ain't really listened to them too much,
That's
but
that
I do.
indoctrination shit, bro.
I remember
Yeah, I remember from
on the Game
school.
Boy.
Yeah.
On the Game Boy, he was lights out from damn near anywhere on the fucking court, which I thought was weird because I was like, huh,
Spoiled
okay,
ass nigga.
yeah, you goddamn right. I was hustling.
Do you have the magnifying
You were
thing on your
what?
Game Boy?
No, I didn't get that. I ended up just getting the whole damn system. Like I needed the give me the super. Fuck this. I'm not finna be sitting around.
Right.
Heavy ass
Two
Um,
thing
controllers.
out in my pocket and shit. Big.
I
I'm
You
know
still
it
had
getting
memory
sounds
card.
it might sound
Oh,
trite to some people,
whole two
but like
parent household having ass nigga.
I if there
yeah. Hey, you ain't wrong. Right. You ain't
old
wrong.
upper old upper class middle class head ass motherfucker.
Oh,
uh,
Listen,
Heath Huxtable ass nigga.
you probably
Theo
got dropped
Huxtable
off
ass
at
nigga.
school and picked up, huh? Never had to take a public transportation in your life.
no, we walked.
Um,
We actually got our
This nigga
exercise.
said,
Lazy.
you want school lunch or you want sack lunch? It's a choice.
he went out to lunch. What you mean? That man was at Chili's every day. Stop
Yeah.
it.
No shit. Ain't
Um,
Lamel, your mother's here to take you out to lunch. Looking ass.
no chili.
I don't know if this sounds trite, but like in this, it's rare that I'll say this, but in this situation, there can be no redemption without compensation.
Yeah.
Like if they don't pay him back, I don't want to hear a fucking apology. I don't like. I don't give a shit about nothing. Don't put me in the Hall of Fame. Don't retire my jersey. Fuck all of that. I want
No, I think he
everything
deserves
plus
a Hall of
inflation,
Fame
bro.
nod.
Like,
I think he do.
nah, fuck that. Like, that is a symbolic gesture. That don't mean shit. My family suffered. I lost everything. I
Yeah.
want my money now. Like JG Wentworth, this bitch, bro. Like, I'm like now.
That's not the
But
package.
That's
so
I think.
cold though. He might. I don't even think he played enough years to be a part of the
I was just thinking that did he
75th.
accumulate
million
enough
and all that
stats?
shit.
The what?
Did he break any records? Is he like number one in
Not it, not it,
anything?
not pro, not pro.
He was well on his way, but They put a kibosh
That's
on
what
all
I'm
that shit.
saying, bro.
So
Like this
so
shit
so
is
e- so
fucked.
so to Jay's point, it would be honorary.
Yeah,
It would be
Yeah,
honorary.
fuck that shit.
So
I don't
yeah,
want it.
yeah,
Keep it. Pay me. Fuck that. Pay me. If you
Well,
meet,
pay
yeah.
if
you
He
I'm,
for
is,
what
bro.
if
though? What
you
are they gonna pay you for?
pay me for the
pain and
reduction
suffering.
in my contract,
Unlawful termination.
the same shit that yeah, that's what the nurses won. All the nurses that won that, one of y'all were telling me this shit. Like all the
Up
nurses
in
that
New
won the
York?
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's got to be the same fucking concept, right? Like
Nah, not necessarily because that was you
he was
forced me out of.
terminated, and then we have remember now. This is the NBA that makes you write chosen on your back or
No,
fucking
the
believe.
what I was gonna say is the clause that Colin Kaepernick actually went to the NFL went with
Hmm.
and said that everybody conspired to get him out of the league.
Mm-hmm.
He actually had a case for that because
Mm.
remember his
Hmm.
agent was making calls and they were like, "Hey, we're not going to sign him, and it's not even for any reason pertaining to basketball."
The only
Yeah,
thing that
Well, football.
the
but
thing
the
that
same thing
Abdul
happened to
would
Mahmoud.
have no,
Mahmoud's agent
no,
called.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay,
talking about.
okay.
Mahmoud's agent was calling, and I'm saying he actually has
A
a
A
case.
case
viable
for it.
case for
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
You know what
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
And I'm not
I
sure if there's statute of limitations to that or anything
Oh
like
man,
that.
fuck
no, because
all of that.
he ended
I
up
want my
sabotaging
bread.
this shit by
Say that again,
coming
man.
out of shape. He
Huh?
became out of shape and wasn't at his playing weight and all of that stuff. So it kind of
Oh, yeah.
affected his
That
game when he was
that
on.
was at the end of his rookie year. He came back in shape because
No,
he
he's talking
changed
about
his
the
No,
second
addition.
go
that's
around.
that's after he got traded
He
That's
did
after
it
he
into
got
twice.
traded to the
Oh, okay.
Kings.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. My bad.
he
I'm
didn't
So
sorry.
he
play
might have
well in
sabotaged
Sacramento.
himself with that because
Fair. That's a good point.
he
That's a
might have
good point.
had a fighting chance. Be like, dog, I'm still in tip top shape. This, that, and the other. I'm out here. I can hoop up any of these motherfuckers, and they just not giving me a chance.
It's
But
just sad, man.
he might have sabotaged himself by
But that's the cost you bring your personal beliefs to a business platform.
yeah,
Like that can happen. That can happen,
yeah.
and you have to be prepared for the sacrifice.
Or
You know
just
what
do
I'm
like
saying?
Ice Cube and start up your own fucking league and say fuck these crackers. Sorry.
I mean, but Ice Cube ain't never been in the NBA, bro. But you absolutely right. Create your
Oh,
own.
he started his own league up and he
You
I
absolutely
mean,
right.
I'm not
Create your
even
own.
gonna hold you. I did not see the big three being what it was. I mean, I like the concept, but
Correct.
I didn't see people
I'm so glad
going to
he
support
did.
it the way they do, and that shit looks fun as fuck. And I can't even get a ticket now. Like it's just, you can't even buy a fucking ticket. That shit is sold out
That's
everywhere
what's
and
up,
it's a
man.
rip. But yeah, no, I mean, uh, this shit feels ugly. Like
It
I
ain't
feel
nothing
like
we ain't seen before.
sports should be like the huh.
I said it ain't shit we ain't haven't seen before. It's just in the form of the NBA this time.
Yeah. With the basketball.
No, well, I mean, like, I almost feel like this was put out by some football team because the narrative throughout all of the Kaepernick thing, and even till this day, a little bit, is how progressive the NBA is as far as like the racially as
Oh,
opposed
look
to
at
the
the Donald
NFL.
Sterling.
Like,
Like
there's always this light on the NBA as is like, oh, we're not like other leagues. Like, we accept all, we're pro black, da 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 da. And then you
everybody got
see
their dirt.
this ugly, ugly fucking history that's like they're just as fucking same.
Everybody
It's
got their dirt, bro.
this shit feels like a setup, blood. Like I like a hit job, and also homeboy who called himself the hitman. Nobody called it and said, "Peep, they call me the hitman." Nobody calls you the hitman. No one's ever called you the hitman. You made that up on spot
His mama
because you
called him hitman.
till this day we don't know why they called you the hitman.
His
You
mama
made that
though.
shit up.
His mama know. You
Hitman.
ain't never been a self-proclaimed.
Yeah, no, but my mom is a self-proclaimed. My mom gave her a nickname,
What?
gave herself a
What?
nickname, and then yelled at me when I was like, I'd never heard that before. Now my daughter is named after said nickname. So go
Wow.
figure.
That's oh
Go
man.
figure.
So your mother gave you a different personality of herself,
No,
and you
it's
named your
no my
daughter after that personality.
no. I I don't. I'm gonna move on because I'm not. I don't know
Well,
what's
no,
happening.
I'm
No,
asking.
like
I'm at. Don't, I'm asking.
It's very surface, no personality or anything, just very surface.
No,
One day my mother
that's not.
said,
I was not saying that.
no, I'm saying, I'm saying is, I'm telling you, surface. My mother told me, hey, my nickname is X, and said, I have, and then I said, I've never heard anyone refer to you as such. And then
X?
she proceeded to yell, and then I was like, okay, if years later it stuck, so I named my daughter after it because
Right.
it's my mother because it's convincing.
Quit
Right.
front. You know you named your
Exactly
daughter
what I said.
boy. You know what
you
it
gonna
is.
you gonna run with that narrative, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And
You know what it was, dog.
Dog.
You know what it was, dog. You be on the front shit, dog.
You be fronting for the people, dog.
oh my God, you know how many people thought it was because I liked sneakers?
Oh no, you just named after the goat. We understand.
Yeah.
Never denied that. Never denied that.
Yeah.
Never denied that.
That's after the goat. We understand. Some
My
of
top three of all time.
yeah. It's not
Um,
LJ. That's Larry Johnson. You didn't get that, but it's MJ. We understand. Oh man, no man. This was a good watch though, man.
Lamel,
I think he
I don't
was
know.
long overdue for this story here, man. That's
Yeah,
another part of
man.
the
Yeah,
and I think he should have got these flowers a lot sooner.
I wish
yeah,
he did.
for
I
real.
wish he did, but it's like I said, man. In hindsight, vision is 2020, man. We can always do that, man. He shoulda. We wish he would, but
Is there a redemption for him? Has
he done
he
already got his redemption, bro. He's killing.
like
What?
playing in
He doesn't need the redemption. The NBA needs the redemption. He
Yeah,
doesn't need the
yeah,
redemption.
that's
They were
absolutely
wrong. He wasn't
I
wrong.
that
like
He's
that
not
point.
tainted.
I
They're
like
tainted.
that point.
Hyphen, I like
that is
that.
absolutely right. That shouldn't.
they still doing fuck shit out here.
But
That nigga,
I
that
mean,
nigga,
this is
that nigga stood on his own. He
Yeah,
stood on his own. Like he stood on his own principles. No matter what the cost was, it cost him damn near everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything, and he's still able to like hoop and find his peace.
by the grace of Allah,
why does it feel like it's still happening today?
because
Because
it
like,
is. God
why
damn it.
is his
You hear
son
nothing I
not?
said.
Why are we not hearing about his son as much as we hear about Bronny or Bryce or
Well, he's been
Dwayne Wade's
shut out the
kids?
league.
Yeah,
Like,
He's shaded out
is
the
it a
league.
talent thing?
It's a
Like,
private institution. It's a private institution. They don't have to promote who we want them to promote. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
his son can be great, but what they believe that his father did to the league is unforgivable.
mm-hmm.
He disrespected them.
He
He got out
disrespected
of
white
position.
ego. He hurt that white
Yeah.
ego, and they just like, nah, we're not gonna
where
let this stand.
where do you get that voice? I've
Well,
never met a white person that sounded like
that's what he
that.
said. Yeah, kick him out of the league. Didn't you hear the man
Get
there?
him out of here.
Get him out
Get
of
him out of here.
here. It's disrespectful.
Ungrateful bastard. Looking
Proceeded to
ass.
call him a bunch of disrespectful names after he said he was disrespectful, I'm sure. But no, man, this was a good watch. I think this is a good timing for this. It's at a time where people are starting to listen. More people are starting to listen to the negativity and fuck shit that goes on with people of color. They're more receptive to hearing our side of the story. So I think this was a good move. This was definitely a good move. I'm hoping that it brings more people over there to that big three, because I did enjoy watching that. So
Yeah. I mean, are we at recommendations and recaps
yeah,
yet,
we
or?
can hit them with that. Yeah, we'll hit them with the recommendation and rewatchability recap.
I would absolutely recommend it. I would rewatch it with anyone that wants to watch it. I really double back on documentaries. I don't know if this was more. I really feel as though like this is flying under the radar, and
It
there's
is.
I don't know if
Yes.
it's because like I've been like what been doing the pod for so long, but the tinfoil hat says that it's intentional. Like
Yeah.
people don't want this story out there, but like this is unfortunate that
It
more
casts a
people.
negative light
This
on the
isn't
NBA.
trending like this, huh?
I said this casts a negative light on the NBA. They trying to dead all that shit. I mean, they already just recovered kind of from Donald Sterling. So they're like, wait a minute, we don't need no more shit
Now,
popping up here
now,
now.
look,
Too
whoa, whoa,
soon.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's too
whoa,
fucking
whoa,
soon.
whoa. Was Donald all the way wrong? Like, bitch, you come into my city and
Stay
you come into
focused. Stay
my
focused.
games
Stay
and
focused.
my
We already
seats,
stay
and you
focused.
just gonna
That
bring some
motherfucker
random
said.
dudes.
That motherfucker said, "What is he doing for the children? He
Stay
does
focused.
nothing. He does nothing." I said, "This nigga's a evil motherfucker."
This nigga spitting.
Oh shit, nah, man. I'll
Motherfucker
definitely
said,
I'll rewatch this. It's not gonna be high on my rewatchability because I mean I kind of already had the story in there, but this did give me more shit that I didn't realize was going on at the same time. It gave me more of a broader, bigger picture of shit like Mike. When it was going down, I paid attention to it. I knew he was a good player again on my NBA Jam and all that shit. Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo basketball, all of that. Like I was going to Denver, all of that shit. But no, this was a good watch, man. I would definitely recommend this. Um, I would love to see if they added a amendment to it. Like I would like to hear a little more.
Like
Uh,
that, like outtakes and shit.
yeah,
I
like that.
want to hear more
Mhm.
what the NBA has to say for itself or what it did back
Ain't
then.
gonna
Like,
say shit, man.
or
Bro,
just
they,
like I
they're
want
not
to
gonna
hear
say
more of like
anything.
what really happened in those closed doors. God damn.
They're not gonna. Oh shit, he on his ass.
God.
Instagram ass. All right, what else? Anybody else?
Oh no, I'll recommend
Oh,
this and I'll we watch it. What is happening?
You weak.
I will rewatch this, but it's more like I'll rewatch this with you. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? I wouldn't
mhm.
rewatch it by myself.
more like a
You know
teaching
what I'm saying?
moment.
I'll rewatch it with someone else. Correct.
Come to
But
think of,
like my sons,
I was just gonna say you just brought that up. I was like, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I am gonna rewatch it with my son most likely, because I already told him about it, and I know he doesn't know how to access the Showtime because I got it coded. So I have to sit down and watch it with him.
oh yeah,
Why do you torture your children? Like at this point, it's you're not even like you're just having fun. Like this is for your own enjoyment.
It's
Why?
only to make them want to get out of my house a lot sooner. So that's the
Don't make it
only reason.
comfortable for them.
Yeah,
Like
don't get comfortable here. This
don't
is
feed them,
that
they'll
boy said.
stay.
That boy said Richard King had a dream. I got a plan too.
Jesus, man.
man. What about you, Mike?
"Well, I don't have no nigga babies,
Damn.
but
Looking at
God.
What?
I'd I'd watch this again
it's
and
it,
again. I
it be
actually
it be
like it.
hard, but it be like true.
The proper
I,
term is nigglets, Mike. The proper term
nigglets,
is
okay,
nigglets.
all
Right?
right. But yeah, I watch stuff like this over and over, like these types
Fuck
of
that.
documentaries.
The conversation we just had. That's how you open. Look at what we just accomplished on this podcast for the past hour and a half, and that's how you open. I ain't got no nigga babies.
Yeah, he
I
meant to
don't
say
like the way you said that.
he meant to say
Say,
nigga.
I don't like the way
Jay,
I
Jay,
said that.
Jay, yeah, Jay, say that one more time. Say it again. You have any
You know
what?
what? Get thee behind me. See, Mike, you were talking. I don't know. Like,
Well,
you
y'all was
just go
talking
ahead.
about they were talking about how they would show it to their son, so that's what I was just saying. Like
Yeah,
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
I
Okay,
don't have
okay.
no, you know what I'm saying?
You got
nigglets.
nephews, bro?
Huh?
Nigglets.
He's
You
talking about
got
direct
nephews?
offspring. He's talking about
Right,
direct
yeah.
offspring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have so I necessarily but would need that to watch it again is what I was trying to lead
Mhm.
Yeah.
into.
Because you
These
watch
types
these
of
often. I
yeah,
caught it.
these types of documentaries are always intriguing to me, and there's always detail that you can find every time you pick them up. And these are often, like you guys said, something you can sit down and watch with somebody else because you want to pass this knowledge on to somebody else as well. Because this is a hidden gem from the NBA, so to
Oh,
speak.
yes.
And like, if you actually went back and watched his tapes, you can use a lot of stuff he did back then today, as Curry does.
Correct.
No, man. If something else that you guys can go back and review is TruVuePodcast.com, where you can like, subscribe, share, and comment to help us defeat that all-powerful algorithm that's trying to hold a black pod down. And thanks for riding with us over there. Go ahead, Jay. Get it off.
No, I just want to say to all the Muslims, brothers and sisters out there, that religion is just beautiful. Like, just watching his journey was just mesmerizing to witness. Like, it's rare to see that kind of like, it's all you could see is love amongst that religion. So
that's what's up.
Yeah,
God you can also watch it over there at TruVue.
Hold on. I'm trying to find my button for pandering.
Oh damn!
Oh my god!
Jay, I thought that was beautiful.
Have some faith. Like, that was genuine.
I thought that was beautiful. I did.
That was genuine.
I was fooled. If I'm a fool, I'm a fool. I was like,
beauty,
wow,
bro. I respect beauty, and I'm telling you, like the garments, the how you pray, like everything just looks beautiful. It looks. I just know I'm not built for it. But
I tell you what else looks beautiful.
Yeah, Jay, you are haram.
Our 4K video over there, where you can go over there to TruVue Podcast at YouTube. Thank you.
Like my entire existence as a ROM, or like
ROM. That Bill.
Hey, guys, Mel is trying to push through this,
and then just keep the comments for us. God damn it, you let us know what y'all want us to review, because we here at the TruVue Podcast know that your time is very valuable. So why waste it watching bullshit? Leave us a review, what you want us to review, and we will do that just for you. TruVue Podcast, baby. Let's go.
First of all, LaBelle, I want to commend you on your professionalism. Guys, do everything that LaMelle just said. Guys, follow us on YouTube, and also be on the look on my new book, Yo Black People, inspired by Freaky J himself. Alley to my guy.
I get every podcast. I don't know why he needs to say this. Like, he really should stop saying that. Like, it's nothing to do with me. I'm not an inspiration.
Definitely inspired. Definitely inspired. Thank you, bro. Like, thank you. Thank you for your humbleness.
I just want to say, like, I feel privileged to have even been a part of this story. Like, this is not pandering. It was just something about. Like, I think it's important, like, when you have a void and you're able to find something to fill it, like, even if it's basketball, and then to have that taken away from you and then to survive that, this was a beautiful story, man. Hopefully you guys go check it out. And, yeah.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's time.
And coming soon, I got my all-natural vegan oil.
Yo,
coming to the block.
Yo, did you go to a swap meet? Like, have you been hanging on Slauson? Like, if you're gonna be slinging bean pies next? Like, what the fuck is you got? Jackets, oil, and what's going on, Mike?
I'm trying to heal the
vegan palm oil.
No, it's all natural vegan oil. It's all natural vegan oil. You can take droplets. You can take them edibly. You can use it on your skin or your hair as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Thank you.
This comes from my sauteed veggies with herbs and seasoning with olive oil or
on the cast iron.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Why are we listening?
Right to the bottom.
Fucking beautiful.
Think about it.
Fucking beautiful.
Why is this going? Why are we still going?
Had to make sure y'all niggas get all of that out. God damn it. All right,
don't say y'all. I was nowhere near this.
Oh my God, man. You podcast, you know what we always say.
Go watch some shit.
Hey man, be who you are.
Damn. Be who you are.
TruVue Podcast. A bunch a different view.
Them boys keep it real, man. I really like listening to them, man. They funny. Yeah.
Son.
You know what I'm saying?
They really speak their truth. What the hell was that?
You're